It's almost here. It's almost here. The NHL season is upon us. Just just moments away from the pucks dropping and all sorts of chaos taking place. I've already previewed the North and the East, and now it is time for the Central Division. And no, it's not the normal Central Division that the Avalanche are in. No, no, no. This is a new makeshift division for this year only. And this division consists of the Carolina Hurricanes, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Dallas Stars, the Detroit Red Wings, the Florida Panthers, the Nashville Predators, and last but not least, your reigning, defending, undisputed Stanley Cup heavyweight champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ugh. Yes, of course, yes. The Lightning and the Stars, they faced off in last year's final, and they're in the same division for this year only. Which means because the first two rounds of playoffs are division based, they will not face each other in the final this year if both will make it. The first they can face off is the division final, which is the last round before the Stanley Cup semifinals for this year. Um, but yeah, Tampa. But Tampa. The ultimate goal in NHL is to win the Stanley Cup, and after you've won it, obviously the ultimate goal is to repeat. Something, of course, back-to-back champions was last done with the Penguins, 16 and 17. Dallas, they were 2 wins short. They had that crazy run, but it's going to be a very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting season. It's going to be a very interesting season for Dallas because unfortunately we heard the news. I think it was a number of days ago. They had a bit of. They were the first team to have a terrible uh, COVID-19 outbreak. They were. So because of that, their season's going to start a bit late. The first 3 games, I think they were supposed to play four of the first two before facing the Lightning in what would be a Stanley Cup final rematch. But um, those 3 games have been postponed, and it's January 19th for them tentatively that their season will start, and they'll be playing um, the Tampa Bay Lightning on that day. Interesting. So, of course, you got the Carolina Hurricanes. They're 2 years removed from a very interesting run they had uh, back when they ousted the defending champion Capitals, and then they swept the Islanders for being swept by Boston. And it's going to be a very interesting affair. It's going to be a very interesting season for the Hurricanes. Hurricanes, however, they were in one of the 8 qualifying rounds. They beat the Rangers out, but they couldn't get past round one as Boston beat them again. And of course, the Blackhawks they're going through a rebuild. They finally admitted that publicly that they are going through a rebuild. Uh, Tays won't be playing this season. Tays won't be playing this season. It looks like, and they traded Saad during the off season. So they're going to be missing some setback. There's going to be a setback here, and and because the top 4 teams make it in each division this year. The Blackhawks were the 12th seed in the Western Conference, and they beat out the Oilers before they were dismantled by Vegas. I'm not looking for the Blackhawks uh, 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 to be in that top 4. Though it is so crazy wide open that Detroit might have a shot. Who knows? It's a short season too. It's a short season, which means it only takes a small handful of wins to make it. Probably like 30 wins, maybe 35 to make it. So who knows? As if anything wasn't possible enough. But speaking of Detroit, Chicago, they are division rivals again for this year only. Because the Blackhawks and Red Wings have been rewarding each other for forever. They're 2 original 6 clubs. They're original 6 clubs, and and they've been rivals forever and ever and ever. But it was the 2013 realignment that separated them. Detroit was moved to the Eastern Conference, so they and the Blackhawks only face each other two times a season. So who knows? With the shortened season, with the way things are going, the Red Wings might be back. We don't know. Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets. Of course, they've been turning heads the last couple of years. Remember, they're they're a couple seasons removed from that big playoff upset. Um, but they were the ones. Their very first playoff series win was that series against the 62 win Lightning. We all remember this. The 62 win Tampa Bay Lightning got swept by the Blue Jackets in that opening round, and now they're division rivals. They're going to play each other 8 times this year, possibly at most 7 more. And though the Lightning rose above it and beat the Jackets out in the playoffs last year en route to their Stanley Cup championship, that 2019 series has to be still in their heads. That's going to cause a whole bunch of friction, and it's going to be poured out in those 8 games. Just you wait. Nashville's window's kind of closing. Who knows with them? Nashville was one of the top teams in the West for a brief while. Remember, they finally made the final. How'd they go? They finally made the final in 17 for the first time in franchise history. Year later, they won the President's Trophy, but didn't make it past round 2, and they've been kind of going backwards since then. They've been kind of going backwards this year. They had an opening round loss in 2019. Last year they were in the qualifying round and Arizona beat them out. Nashville's window is closing if it's not closed already. But this format may resurrect things. This format may change fates for certain teams who are either on the rise, have already risen, or on a decline, or just bad. This is gonna be more wide open than it usually is, and it's time for my prediction. Okay, so who's gonna be the top 4 in the Central? Of course, for the North, I predicted Toronto, Edmonton, Calgary, and Montreal as the top 4. In the East, I predicted Boston, Washington, Pittsburgh, and the Islanders as the top 4. I remember. As for the Central, well, 2 of them are going to be easy. Actually, 3 of them should be. Tampa Bay and Dallas, they were Stanley Cup finalists. They should be back. They should be back. So that's 2 right there. So Tampa Bay and Dallas right there. Carolina, I don't know. I have to think about that. Nashville, I don't know. Nashville's kind of a mystery. Florida, they got Patrick Hornqvist from Pittsburgh. Of course, Penguins fans definitely love that. Remember him? He was the one that scored the cup-winning goal in 2017 against the Predators. The goal that broke the scoreless tie very late in regulation. Uh, but he's now a Panther. They got him, but they lost him getting Dadonov to Ottawa. So who knows where that's going to go? But Florida seems to be on the rise. Will they be the top 4? Who knows? Blackhawks, no, they're not going to make it. Jackets, they got a good core. They got a shot. Wings. I know they got Domestikov for the Avalanche, and they still have Mantha and Larkin and Tyler Bertuzzi, and they have a playoff drought, which is not very long, but it's long for them. Um, I don't know. Okay, I made up my mind. The top 4 in the Central in this order. I think Tampa's going to finish first. They're the Cup champions. I know that usually doesn't matter in hockey, but I think Tampa's going to stay up there. So I think Tampa's going to finish first. I'll have Dallas second. Not because they were in the final, but they're just pretty strong. Even though the late start might set them back a bit, but they got that group. Ben Sagan, Pavelski, Radulov, Denis Gurianov, who kind of stole the show. Who was one of the show stealers on that team. The other being Joel Kiviranta, a name that sickens Avs fans like me. Uh, and they got now Hudobin's out. That's gonna be a setback, but I don't know for how long. I think he's quarantining, so he should be back like that. Quarantining, COVID quarantining is 2 weeks. if you have, it's 2 weeks you have it, it's 10 days you're close contact. So he'll be back this season, obviously. So I say Dallas finishes second in that division. The other two, I think Columbus. Columbus should make it. Columbus is going to be one of those. Columbus is a perennial playoff team now. They are. Uh, but how far will they go? That's the thing. But they are a perennial playoff team now. They are. And the fourth spot. Do I dare say Detroit? No, but they won't finish as low as people think. Chicago, no. Florida, no. That leaves Nashville and Carolina. Who's got a better shot? Last year, Carolina went a bit further last year than Nashville. They both went out early. What the? Well, what the hell? Carolina. There it is. Carolina. Sorry, Nashville. Sorry, Nashville, but Carolina's got a bit of an edge, especially the last 2 years. So, my top four in the Central: Tampa Bay, Dallas, Columbus, Carolina. That's my top four. And tomorrow, it's West tide. That's the Avalanche's division for this season, and I will preview that tomorrow. Tomorrow, and the season starts on the 13th, this Wednesday. So it's gonna be fun. So again, stay tuned for my West preview.